Hi Glenn, how are you doing? This is Miles from TADS Woods.
Miles, I'm doing
Good to
well.
see you.
Yourself? Yeah.
Very well, thank you. Again, regulatory questions. That's the common topic today. So yeah, what do you think of the current regulation environment in comparison to the past? What do you think needs to be improved? Anything specifically in your mind that you guys think has been a great improvement? What do you want to see more that's going to be improved?
Yeah, sure. Definitely, there has been a lot of progress that the regulators have made. Right now, I think the biggest attention or interest is in the AML and travel rule space, where our peers in the industry have been working really hard to supply and to produce the right level of contents and interoperability. And us as Ledger, where we provide the digital asset custody capabilities, we are working hard with our peers in the industries to make sure there are customers who are financial institutions, whether they're coming from a crypto native angle or whether they are existing financial institutions that are coming into the digital asset space. We are helping them to have the best and the easiest of the user experience, and of course, not to mention that we guarantee the security in between. Um, I personally believe that the next domino to fall, and obviously the regulation will keep on evolving, hopefully would be around security and the management of keys. Security and governance combined together, where obviously the regulators would want to protect the interest of the investors, so they will require the highest level of security for the protection of the assets, but also whether these digital asset institutions are able to perform their duties with the right level of governance policy, just like in banks where there are people that are asking for withdrawals of funds to send to somewhere, as well as having the right processes in place for the checkers and the approvers and compliance team and so on and so forth, to make sure that the assets are protected from security angle, but also from governance angle as well.
What is your view on the STO market in the coming 1, 3, and 5 years?
My view is that it's obviously under-penetrated at this point, and that is because everybody that's on this call and other award winners as well have been and are working hard to build the right ecosystem from a regulatory perspective, from operational perspective, to bring this to into the light. So I would say things are in the build. So probably the next 1 year we will see more and more interest, and hopefully more bigger parties joining the game, collaborating with the companies that are involved in this award as well, to build the right ecosystem. And in 3 years to 5 years down the road, we could potentially see 1% of the total assets, globally addressable markets, to be tokenized, and then hopefully down the road we can see more of that percentage going up, and then eventually this digital asset space will become something significant, and we'll see more and more wave of movement of the real assets coming into the digital asset ecosystem.
Thank you, Glenn. Any questions from the floor? Please feel free to speak with Glenn.
Hi, Glenn. This is Ian from Propine. First of all, congratulations on winning the award. Just wondering, I'm sure you're aware that late last month, Malaysia has sort of opened up or revised its digital assets guidelines, and one of which is that now the Malaysian government is allowing what they call to apply for digital asset custodian license So is that something that Ledger is looking at moving forward in the Southeast Asian market and applying for such license?
Thanks for the question. That's exactly why we've built our institutional value proposition, Ledger Vault. So we are not in the business of being a third-party custodian ourselves. So we will not go for any financial regulated licenses because we offer our technology to those that are willing to jump into this space. So we will be working with custodians and trustees in Malaysia and in other jurisdictions like in Hong Kong and Singapore, where their regulatory clarity coming from traditional businesses that needs capabilities, the right level of security and the flexibility of building their own procedures without completely reinventing the wheel. So that's our bread and butter. So,
okay. So
as you
go ahead. Go ahead.
No. As you have righteously mentioned, we have started to engage the trustees in Malaysia, and obviously there are businesses that start off with buying a secure vault and putting some hardware wallets or air-gapped computers to start. But soon enough, they will realize that such procedures is not scalable, and it's actually very risky from like a key man perspective. And the physical nature of how the keys are being stored somewhere is always a risk. So that's the opportunities that we see from our institutional business angle, and we will continue to engage them to make sure that they choose the right providers when it comes to supporting their digital asset journey.
Sure. So okay, what I'm trying to say is that because security tokens asset custody is very different from crypto assets, because you have your crypto assets basically is based on the wallet. How strong and efficient and safe is the wallet. Whereas for security tokens, it's more than that, because you have to do all your event life cycle and so on and so forth. So what I'm trying to say is that that's not you are currently just working with trustees, but trustees are also very different from digital asset custodians. So, and you guys are not in the direction of or actually having the thought of going into to be yourself, to work as a digital a regulated digital asset custodian. Am I right to say that?
Yes, but I tend to I agree with most of the things that you mentioned, Ian, but in terms of the technology that is required to support tokenized assets from the key management perspective, from the security perspective, it's quite agnostic. And obviously the issuers or the token issuers can decide how much of the life cycle of the tokens will be supported from a smart contract angle versus how much of that will be supported manually or through API or so on and so forth on the custodian side. We are building and we have built the right technology to support the different life cycle of tokenized assets as well. So your question about whether Ledger will become a licensed custodian, we will not be, because we enable our customers to be, and we have a JV with Nomura that we've launched recently that is also going to be coming into the tokenized asset world as well. But the answer would be no. Ledger itself would not be a regulated custodian ourselves.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Cormate?
Yeah. Hi, Glenn. Congratulations for winning the TADS award.
Thank you.
I have one question. So your biggest competitor today is Trezor Wallet, And can you please highlight that how you are different from Trezor wallet? And when we see and compare your pricing structure, it's exactly same. So how do you compete with them in terms of the pricing or providing the security?
So the question, well, I'm probably not the best guy to answer this because I focus more on the B2B side of things. And despite the fact that a lot of the digital asset institutions are still relying on hardware wallets for the custody of their customers' assets, you know, as I mentioned, there are a lot of risks that are associated with the management of assets, institutional assets using hardware wallets. That's why we've built our institutional technology. But going back to your question about how we differentiate against Trezor. So first of all, we believe that the level of security that we provide on the smart chip and trusted execution environment is at a different level. And I don't want to go in technical details of this. I think from a business angle, what will really make a difference is, you know, the ease of use. So, you know, I don't know if you've noticed the past couple of months on Ledger Live, which is the software application that interacts with the hardware wallet, we've introduced a lot of new features such as buy crypto, where people can spend their, you know, fiat money or use their credit card to buy directly through the platform, without leaving the trusted, you know, security that Ledger Nanos provide. And also we've added staking capabilities, swap capabilities with our partners, and so on and so forth. So I think the next step in what's going to really make a difference in the hardware wallet space is, you know, how much user base that you currently have, and how many and how, you know, decent of you know, features that you're going to bring on top, so that your users have the best in class user experience when it comes to their digital asset journey.